All right, guys, I got all three of my latest favorite bikes. So the electric motion I just rode yesterday on my really tight, rooty, kind of mountain bike-ish trails where it doesn't say no electric motorcycles. I rode with a friend of mine who's got the base Suron, I think the Light B, right? And I did not bring my Suron, the new one here, the Ultra B, because I really couldn't fit it in the van real quick because I haven't gotten the van set up. So I had to carry his bike as well. So I just kind of regretted not bringing it, but we'll get together with it. So all three sizes you can see here, I'm going to call the Escape the small, the Ultra B the medium, and the Beta Cross Trainer the large out of this group. Now remember, the Beta Cross Trainer is supposedly like 10% smaller, or a percentage smaller than your typical KTM 300 XCW, which my buddies are all riding. And previous videos I told you I chose this because it was slightly smaller, slightly lighter. I think it's supposed to be 238, same 300 two-stroke motor basically. Awesome bike. It kicked ass in Moab, and I can't say enough. Other than my third day, I did have an accident, a stupid little fall over that smashed two of my left hand knuckles. That being said, I had to have gas because we were doing that wide open stuff. I was worried about the range on the Beta. I even bought an extra bottle to carry. We never carried bottles. We just went back to the truck and refueled. I never even hit reserve. Then we got the Ultra B, which I just got, and I do find incredibly exciting. It is the closest, like I said, the closest thing to what I would design for an electric motorcycle. I would never buy a KTM free ride electric because it's a pig, in my opinion. 250 or whatever, 245. I want to be 200 or less on almost everything I ride now. The Stark is going to be a pig, in my opinion. There's no doubt it's got incredible power, but it's almost like, who cares? Because, you know, maybe if you're a pro rider, that's going to be fun for you. But 80 horsepower is kind of ridiculous. There's very few people I know will ever use it. And I know it's fun to have it, but it's a lot funner, in my opinion, to ride and now that I'm a little older and I've ridden pretty much everything in my life, you know, always had 1000cc bikes, 1300s, the whole 9 yards, rode like an animal on R1s and everything you can think of. I'm back to, it's funner to ride a small bike fast or than a big bike, you know, beyond your limits. So finesse wise, the electric motion made a lot more sense yesterday than even the Ultra B, because the Ultra B had a little harsher ride right now. And like I said, with the rubber, it makes it even harsher and less traction. For what I was riding yesterday, super windy, tight trees where you even have to stop to fit the handlebars between. And I needed those fat tires that you have on this trials type thing. They made a lot more sense. They felt great. I'm glad I brought the electric motion yesterday for those trails. This one to me is going to be a blast when I'm at the Hatfield McCoys and stuff that's got some wide open, windy stretches that are like roller coaster rides at higher speeds, 30, 40 miles an hour. And when I go into the, you know, hill climbs that are super sketchy, super rocky, trees all over the place. You get off the bike, you can barely stand up. You're holding the bike from tumbling down the cliff. It'll still be a blast there because it's light enough to manhandle for me at 165 pounds, 5'10". Obviously, if you're 240 pounds, it might feel a little toyish to you. But honestly, I rode his regular Light B yesterday, and no offense to anybody, I couldn't stand it. Again, I rode that, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I didn't care for it. Way too tiny. When I rode his Ultra B or his Light B, it was just like riding, and to me, like big wheel hardness. I mean, he did have too much air in the tires. They were little beanie tires like this, maybe even beanier. And the suspension was not set up for trail riding, in my opinion. It felt dangerous. It did not want to go through sand friendly like. This one does quite well on sand, not as good as the electric motion because of the rubber again, but I will fix that. I'm going to do, like a lot of you guys said, I'll do the 18 in the rear just so I have the rubber choices for trail riding. I probably will do the 21 in the front. I'm going to try to find something uniquely light so I don't pick up any mass for the front so I can keep lifting it. But you know, they're all great bikes. I can't say enough about them. This is the perfect trio for me for riding the most crazy technical dirt trails, water crossings, rocky, rooty, trail blazing, which again is my favorite. Yesterday, the trail that I ride in Northport, Florida, I forgot it had gotten pounded by Ian, the hurricane, so it was like a mess. So we found some good stretches that they semi-cleared, and then there were some stretches that we were doing trailblazing, and there was vines wrapped around our ankles and our pegs and our handlebars, and it was kind of nutty. I was going over logs and just total, like I was afraid I was going to get bit by a water moccasin because we were next to creeks and all that stuff. and I was in the deep thick, like ducking and hanging onto trees to get around, you know, stuff against the creek. A lot of fun. I am a big trailblazing fan, and I like getting into the thick stuff. So, you know, both these super light bikes are a lot of blast. Like at Croom in Florida, they'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get get the Ultra B up at Croom, because some of those little roller coastery sandy areas that you can just kind of carve through like you're on a roller coaster will be a blast at higher speeds on the Ultra B. Climbing wise, we'll see how she does. She's going to be a little bigger, maybe not as good at climbing until, again, the rubber's fixed. This is the climbing beast still, the Escape. The Beta does amazing on sand. I mean, you look at the meat on the Beta. In the Beta, I was running 12 pounds, so I was spreading out that footprint, and I kind of tore it up a bit in Moab, but it's fine. This is still the ultimate for getting over Rudy Ruddy stuff. Usually I like to run 8-9 pounds, and that holds up great. Putting that thing on the Ultra B would be great. It'd probably be spinning too much mass. I don't know, gotta get something lighter. This would be cool too. It looks like it would almost fit. It's kind of crazy, and it'd be fun to put that rubber on there, because you would just have a pig of a bulldozer. So there's the rubber that could be fun. I know it's crazy excessive, and it's actually not that heavy, but man, that'd be kind of funny. That's just too much to turn for a battery bike. I don't want to suck down my battery, so I got to get something that's light and yet bigger footprint. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys all three of these things together, size wise, height wise. Maybe I can get down at an angle and show you. Of course, the French kickstand makes that one the oddball. I'll have to lean the other way. You can kind of see they're like stair-stepped. Escape, Ultra B, and then Beta Xtrainer. And the Beta Xtrainer is slightly lower seat height than the KTM XCWs as well. So that, to me, if you're kind of my size or roughly around there, there's nothing better than getting your center of gravity lower. There's nothing better than getting rid of weight when you want to get into the crazy stuff. And like I said, I climb stuff like I never thought I could climb with that in the rocks. And they're just, you know, all great bikes. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a holler. I appreciate any likes and subscribes. Just doing this for fun. Hope it helps you guys make decisions. And I can't say enough about any of them. I would never give up my Escape, even though I know the cost differential is high. And I'm not a big fan of two-strokes. You know, I don't like the gas, oil, and smoke anymore. I would prefer to have had a four-stroke, but there's no four-strokes that can do what this Xtrainer can do, crawl-wise, technical-wise. So that's where you got to go. And you know, when you're out on the, you know, in a big wide open areas, you got to have some fuel to get you there. You're just not going to make it there with the battery technology today, unless you can have like a chopper airlift you in spare batteries, and that's only going to happen on the Ultra B, because the Escape is not designed for hot swaps. So you'd be in SOL. All right, hope that helps you guys, and talk to you soon. Take care.